It's a good bounce back win for us today. I thought we started the game with the right tone on the defensive end, and so that was that was by design for us to get back to our.
The official story was simple, almost boring. Caitlin Clark was left off the Team USA Olympic roster because she supposedly needed more experience. They said it was about basketball, about seniority, but insiders are now painting a very different picture. One of ego, money, and an ultimatum the old guard of the WNBA refused to accept. The rumor that has the internet exploding isn't about jump shots or defense, it's about the number on her back. Sources suggest Clark's camp made it clear she is the brand, and the brand wears number 22. But on Team USA, that number belongs to Aya Wilson. What followed was a silent war between the greatest prospect in history and the established hierarchy of women's basketball. Did Clark refuse to ride the bench if she couldn't wear her number? Did Team USA gatekeepers use this jersey conflict as an excuse to keep the world's most popular player at home? Today, we expose the truth behind the decision that cost the WNBA millions, the petty jealousy in the locker room, and the revenge tour that proved everyone wrong. To understand why a jersey number could spark an international incident, you have to understand the business of Caitlin Clark. This isn't just a digit. It's a global trademark. From the moment she stepped on the court at Iowa, number 22 became synonymous with a revolution. We aren't just talking about jersey sales, we're talking about a psychological link between that number and the Caitlin effect. Marketing experts say the data is staggering. Number 22 is plastered on hoodies, billboards, and Nike campaigns. It represents the logo threes, the sold-out arenas, and skyrocketing TV ratings. Had Clark gone to Paris wearing a random number like 4 or 15, it would have diluted the branding continuity Nike and her team spent years building. In high-stakes sports marketing, these details matter, and there's speculation her major sponsors pushed for her to maintain her identity. When you are the face of the sport, you don't blend in, you stand out. Clark's camp allegedly refused to let Team USA strip away the visual identity that made her an icon. But this demand hit a brick wall named Aya Wilson. The unstoppable force met the immovable object. Wilson is not just another player. She is a two-time champion, a dominant MVP, and the cornerstone of Team USA. She has worn 22 for the national team for years. In the hierarchy of sports culture, the veteran holds the cards. You don't walk into a locker room as a rookie, even one as famous as Clark, and demand the number of the best player in the world. It's a violation of the unwritten rules. This created a diplomatic nightmare for the selection committee. On one side, Wilson, who earned her jersey through blood, sweat, and gold medals. On the other, Clark, who carried the economy of women's basketball on her back. Rumors suggest neither side budged. Wilson wouldn't give up her number, and Clark's team allegedly refused to see their star marginalized in another jersey. Coming off the bench for 5 minutes a game, it was a clash of egos that doomed the partnership before it even began. But the jersey was only the surface of a deeper resentment. If you think this was just about a number, you weren't paying attention to months of hostility leading up to the Olympics. The old guard of the WNBA made it clear they weren't rolling out the red carpet. It started with Diana Taurasi, the legend and face of the league for 2 decades, who went on national television during the Final Four and issued a warning: reality is coming. It wasn't advice, it felt like a threat and a signal to the rest of the league that Clark needed to be humbled. When the Olympics Selection Committee met, this sentiment reportedly drove the decision. The roster wasn't just built on talent, it was built on loyalty to the system. Women's basketball has a tight-knit, almost exclusive culture at the top. Veterans like Taurasi, Stewart, and Griner have played together for over a decade and view the national team as a sorority you have to pledge to join. Clark hadn't paid her dues. The idea of this golden child skipping the line, taking a roster spot from a loyal veteran, and potentially demanding a specific jersey number rubbed the decision-makers the wrong way. They chose chemistry over popularity, and to many fans, it felt like pure politics. The story can't be told without looking at the woman who made the final call, Team USA coach Cheryl Reeve. Reeve is a brilliant coach, but her social media activity leading up to the season raised eyebrows. Internet sleuths noticed she had liked and engaged with posts critical of the hype surrounding Clark and the attention Iowa was getting, giving the sense that she was annoyed by the media circus. When the decision came to leave Clark off the roster, Reeve played it cool, citing basketball reasons and defensive experience. But how do you explain leaving the best passer and arguably the best shooter in the world at home? It felt personal, like a coach determined to win her way without the distraction of the Caitlin Clark media storm. By excluding Clark, Reeve ensured that the story in Paris would be about the veterans, not the rookie. Ironically, by leaving her off, they made the entire summer about Caitlin Clark anyway. There's another layer to this story involving the most powerful company in sports, Nike. Both Aya Wilson and Caitlin Clark are Nike athletes, and usually the brand gets what it wants. They wanted Clark in Paris, with marketing campaigns ready to go. So why didn't they force the issue? Some insiders say Nike was caught in a civil war between established stars and a new investment. Aya Wilson had just received her signature shoe deal after years of demand, while Clark was handed a $28 million contract and a signature shoe before playing a single professional minute. This disparity caused massive friction behind the scenes. If Nike had forced Team USA to take Clark and give her number 22, they risked alienating Wilson, Stewart, and the veteran roster. Nike had to walk a tightrope, likely trying to broker peace over the jersey number, but when egos this big are involved, even a billion-dollar company can't always smooth things over. The result was a missed opportunity that cost everyone money. The financial impact is staggering. The 2024 Paris Olympics were successful, but millions of viewers were left untapped. Every game Clark plays in the WNBA breaks viewership records, with ratings rivaling the NBA. Arenas sell out when she plays, they sit half empty when she doesn't. NBC, which broadcasted the Olympics, reportedly expected Clark to be the face of the American team. When she was snubbed, casual fans, millions who only watch for her, tuned out. They didn't care about a seventh consecutive gold medal for a team winning by 30 points every game. They wanted the phenomenon. By prioritizing team chemistry and jersey politics over the fans, USA Basketball fumbled the biggest marketing opportunity in the sport's history, choosing the pride of 12 players over the attention of 12 million fans. The snub didn't happen in a vacuum. It came during the most physically brutal stretch of Clark's life. The first half of the WNBA season was a non-stop welcome to the league beatdown. Opposing players headhunted her, Kennedy Carter hip-checked her to the floor, Angel Reese celebrated hard fouls against her, and league veterans seemed to take their frustration out on the rookie while referees swallowed their whistles. This context made it understandable why Clark's camp would pull back. Why go to Paris to be isolated by teammates who might resent you? Why fight for a jersey number in a locker room that doesn't want you there? The hostility on the court mirrored the hostility in the selection room. The message was clear: you aren't one of us yet. And if she wasn't, why sacrifice her summer to help them win a medal they were going to win anyway? Here's the twist no one saw coming. Getting snubbed turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to Caitlin Clark. While the media screamed unfair, sources close to Clark say there was a sense of relief. She had been playing basketball nonstop for a year, from the NCAA tournament run to the draft to the immediate start of the WNBA season, and she was exhausted. Her legs were heavy, her shot short. Had she gone to the Olympics, she would have burned out completely. Instead, she got a month off. She went on vacation and had the time to recover, recharge, and return stronger than ever. She disconnected from the toxicity of the league and stepped into the weight room. While Aya Wilson and the rest of Team USA were grinding through travel, pressure, and the Olympic grind in Paris, Clark was quietly recharging her battery. What felt like punishment, being left off the team, turned into a tactical advantage that would terrify the league when she returned. When the Olympic break ended, a transformed Caitlin Clark walked onto the court. The rookie label was gone, hesitation was gone, and she returned on a mission to dismantle every narrative used against her. Coaches who doubted her defense saw her racking up steals and blocks. Critics who said she turned the ball over too much watched her drop 19 assist games, shattering the all-time WNBA record. Her team went from lottery-bound to playoff contenders almost overnight. This was her answer to the Olympic Committee. No statements, just highlight reels. Every triple-double became a direct response to those who said she wasn't ready. She proved she wasn't just one of the top 12 players in the world, she was likely top 5. That the revenge tour wasn't fueled by anger, it was fueled by excellence, by proving to Aya Wilson, Cheryl Reeve, and the entire old guard exactly what they had missed. The media landscape shifted drastically. Early in the season, pundits were cautious, but after the snub and Clark's dominance, the narrative changed. Voices like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe, and other major sports commentators openly criticized the WNBA's old guard for their jealousy, shifting the story from "Caitlin has a lot to learn" to "the league is self-sabotaging." The petty number 22 jersey dispute suddenly looked absurd. When ESPN pundits shouted that the selection committee should be fired, the gatekeepers lost control of the narrative. In trying to protect the sanctity of the team, they instead looked like mean girls guarding a lunch table. Public sentiment sided with Clark, and the merchandise sales confirmed it. The number 22 Fever jersey became the best-selling jersey in WNBA history, while Team USA merchandise gathered dust on shelves. Oh, where does this leave us? The Paris Olympics are over, and the gold medal is secured, but the shadow of this controversy looms large over the future, a reminder that talent, branding, and strategy can overturn even the most entrenched systems. The 2028 Olympics will be in Los Angeles, a home game. By then, Diana Taurasi will be retired, the old guard gone, and Caitlin Clark in the prime of her career. The dynamics of power are about to flip. In 2024, Clark had to ask for permission. In 2028, Team USA will be begging her to play. Do you think she'll accept a roster spot if they tell her she can't wear number 22? Absolutely not. By 2028, Aya Wilson will be the veteran, but Clark will be the face of the global game. We might see a changing of the guard, with Wilson voluntarily handing over the number, or perhaps a new conflict arises, but one thing is certain, the disrespect shown in 2024 will not be forgotten. The cold, hard numbers make the snub look even worse in hindsight. In the weeks following the Olympic break, Clark put up stats we haven't seen since Magic Johnson. She became the first rookie to record a triple-double, broke the single-season assist record, and led all guards in rebounding. These aren't just good rookie numbers, they're MVP caliber. The argument that she wasn't ready in June looked laughable by August. Her progression proved her basketball IQ is light years ahead of the curve. The Olympic Committee bet against her development, assuming she'd hit a rookie wall. Instead, she smashed through it and took the fever with her. Every record she broke reminded the world what talent was left at home. That it's important to credit Aya Wilson. She played incredible basketball in Paris, earning MVP of the tournament. She did her job. But despite her brilliance, the conversation constantly returned to the player who wasn't there. For a player of Wilson's caliber, winning gold while reporters ask about Caitlin Clark must be frustrating. This is the tragedy. By excluding Clark, USA basketball didn't protect Wilson's spotlight, they stole it. Had they played together, it would have been a dream team, Wilson and Clark dominating side by side. Instead, friction over roles and numbers created a rivalry that divided the fan base. Wilson deserves her flowers, but decision-makers forced her into the villain role in Clark's story. Then there's the Cheryl Swoops factor. The WNBA legend has been one of Clark's most vocal critics, at times even giving false stats to downplay Clark's college achievements. Swoops represents a generation that feels threatened by the hype around Clark, and that sentiment leaked into the Olympic decision. The legends collectively tried to slow down the train, but you cannot stop a freight train with a roadblock. You just cause a massive collision. Their animosity only strengthened Clark's fan base, turning the situation into an us versus them battle. If you liked Clark, you hated the establishment. If you liked the establishment, you hated the new fans. It became a civil war the sport didn't need. The biggest casualty of this jersey war was the new fan experience. Millions of people tuned into the WNBA for the first time this year. They didn't know the history of Aya Wilson or Diana Taurasi. They knew the girl who shoots from the logo. When those fans saw their favorite player excluded over politics, it left a sour taste. YouTube comments and Twitter threads exploded with messages like, "I'm not watching the Olympics if Caitlin isn't there." And many didn't. The WNBA has been desperate for growth for 27 years, and they finally got the golden opportunity, only to fumble it.